She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories, and everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. And now and then when I see her face, it takes me away to that special place. If I stayed too long, I'd probably break down and cry. Whoa, 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 sweet child of mine. Whoa, 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 sweet love of mine. Ba-da-dum, 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 ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. She's got eyes of the bluest skies, and if they were to crimp, I'd hate to look into those eyes and see an ounce of pain. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place where as a child I hide and pray for thunder and the rain to quietly pass me by. Whoa, 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 sweet child of mine. Oh, whoa, 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 sweet love of mine. Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Where do we go now? I, where do we go? Where do we go now? Sweet child of mine. Bonjour, and welcome back to Bonjour, NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. My name is Michael Lyons, and I just thought I would start this show with some songs. I'm noticing for the first time today that my voice is sort of hoarse. I don't know. Bonjour, Gwen and Carly. Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. John Redcorn, Thirsty Thursday. Is it still Thursday? I thought it was Friday. I'm losing track of my days. Jennifer Medlock says she's first. Sorry, Jennifer, you're actually third. And if you're not first, you're last. Well, actually, to be honest, there might only be 3 people who show up tonight. So you could be last, Jennifer. But welcome to the show. Today's Ojibwe phrase of the day. Where is NANABOOZHOO? Where is he? Where has he been? I haven't seen him. Andi eya NANABOOZHOO. Andi eya NANABOOZHOO. Where? You've heard the term anin. You know how. how, kola, as they say in Dakota. Andi means where. Eya is like where being, where is. NANABOOZHOO. And NANABOOZHOO might respond, Oma binin, Oma binin. Andi eya NANABOOZHOO, andi eya NANABOOZHOO, Oma binin, Oma binin. Ani neji eya ani mi no eya mi gwech, giga waba min, minawa. Andi eya Natasha, andi eya Natasha, Oma binin, Oma binin. Ani A-G-A-I, ani, ni mi no eya mi gwech, giga waba min, minawa. Andi eya NANABOOZHOO, Oma binin. Ani neji eyayan, how are you? Ni mi no eya mi gwech, I'm good, thank you. Giga waba min, minawa. Here's a little video we put together to teach the Ojibwe phrase of the day.
Andi eya NANABOOZHOO, andi eya NANABOOZHOO.
Oma binin, Oma binin.
Ani eji eya yan,
Ni mi no eya mi gwech.
giga waba min, minawa. Andi eya anamosh, andi eya anamosh.
Oma binin, Oma binin.
Ani eji eya yan,
Ni mi no eya mi gwech.
giga waba min, minawa. Andi eya Benjamin, andi eya Benjamin.
Oma binin, Oma binin.
Ani neji eya yan,
Ni mi no eya mi gwech.
giga waba min, minawa. Andi eya Michael, andi eya Michael.
Oma binin, Oma binin.
Ani eji eya ya,
Ni mi no eya mi gwech.
giga waba min, minawa.
Well, that's right. Oh, I like that song, Michael. Well, thank you so much. You know, you folks, you're really talented. Hey, bonjour, ni Anishinaabe Duke. Hello, my fellow Indians, or people. Did you know that Anishinaabe doesn't mean Indian? Yeah, it actually means people. Yeah, I always thought it meant Indian. But it turns out an Anishinaabe is just a person. You can be a Norwegian Anishinaabe. You can be an African Anishinaabe. You know. So what's the Ojibwe word for Indian? I think we call them ruthless savages. Nah, you don't. Hey, kids, would you like to learn about ventriloquism? You see, Michael here, he's an excellent ventriloquist. Because ventriloquism is a very sacred and ancient art. You see, the ventriloquist never moves his lips when he speaks. Go ahead, show him. Hello, everyone. My name's Michael. And and you can tell when I shake, I know my lips. That's right. He never moves his lips. And that's what makes him... Wait a second. You're not supposed to move your lips when I'm talking. Well, then what kind of shout you're sharing? Well, yeah, but then if you don't... I don't think he understands. No. That's Sabe, everybody. Thank you, Sabe. Let me sit you over here. You borrow your hat. So how you guys doing tonight? I set up the show this morning. You know, I get the lights together and the guys and everything. Then I decided to go for a walk, and then I got back. I was like, well, I'll do it after I have something to eat. Then I took a nap. I said, well, I'll do it after I get up. I was all groggy. And so, well, I'll do it after I take a shower. And then I got in here and I wasn't feeling it. And sometimes before I do a show, I'll play the guitar or the piano or something just to try to, or just listen to Kiss videos. But I couldn't get myself into that sort of performance feeling, you know? And I thought, well, we're running out of time. I'm not going to do it at all if I don't just get on. So I'm going to play some songs. If you have any requests, and if I think of anything meaningful and podcasty to talk about, I might bring it up. So here's a song we wrote for the show. Anytime you hear me singing in falsetto, that's Natasha, if you're new to the show. This is a song about blueberry pie. It's really dramatic, unnecessarily dramatic for some reason. Well, I wanted a piece of blueberry pie, so I went out and I asked some guy. He only spoke Ojibwe, so I had to say, Mena bashki mena sagani batu sijikani, bakwe jigan. Mena bashki mena sagani batu sijikani, bakwe jigan. Mena bashki mena sagani batu sijikani. Quajikan, Mena Bashki Mena Sagani, Batusi Chikani, Quajikan. So you think I got it? Mena Bashki Mena Sagani, Batusi Jagani, Quajikan. It's blueberry pie. But if you want to rock out, a blueberry pie. So I went up and I asked this guy, but he only spoke Ojibwe. So I had to say, Mena Bashki Mena Sagani, Batusi Chakani, Bakwajigan, yeah, Mena Bashki Mena Sagani. Batusi Chikani, Bakwajigan, yeah, Mena Bashki Mena Sagani, Batusi Chikani, Bakwajigan. Sagani, Batusi Jigani, Bakwajigan. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, That was Blueberry Pie in Ojibwe. Here's a song by David Bowie. And I would be king. You will be my queen. Though nothing would keep us together, we could beat them just for one day. And we could be heroes forever and ever. What you say? And you, I wish you could swim like the dolphin, like dolphins can swim. Though nothing would drive them away, we can beat them just for one day. And we could be heroes forever and ever. What you say? Oh, we could be heroes just for one day. We could be heroes just for one day. No one will help us. Maybe we're lying. Then you better not stay. And it's time you should go. It's better that way. Heroes by David Bowie. Do you guys really believe David Bowie's dead? You know, anytime one of these ultra huge stars, heroes, dies, there's always a little bit of mystery. It started with Elvis. Did Elvis die before Paul McCartney? Old Beatles fans will remember there was a conspiracy back in the early 70s, I guess. Not long after the Beatles they were, in their heyday, where people claimed Paul McCartney had died and was replaced by a lookalike, the guy we see walking around today. And that they covered up his death, that the real Paul McCartney died. When Elvis died, there was a lot of discussion about whether or not he actually didn't die, but he faked his death, went into hiding. And there's all kinds of evidence that there was, just suspicious, weird activity, stuff in your normal life. Like your grandmother dies, there isn't ever a question of, was that really her in the casket? Or how did she actually die? But with these celebrities, there's always some doubt. Prince, it was the same thing. He died by himself, having overdosed on fentanyl. It was the first time anybody in the world had ever heard of Prince taking any drug, let alone being an addict to the most addictive drug in the world and the most dangerous drug, But no discussion on was he poisoned, was he murdered, or did he fake his death even? Apparently when Prince was found, his clothes were on backwards. Shirt was on backwards. Like maybe he had died and somebody dressed him afterwards and just threw him in there. Who knows? Or maybe he faked it, you know. But when Bowie died, it was so weird because there was like one news story was sent out, and then the news that covered it was just fan reaction and the typical news stories of where they tell us everything we already know. David Bowie was born in England and blah, blah, blah. He was Ziggy Stardust. And then the day after, there was one interview with a guy who claimed to be his friend named Jack Stevens, who looked like David Bowie in a mask, or David Bowie with one of those filters we see on Snapchat and everything else, talking about Bowie. And then there was no funeral. His family never talked about it. His wife never talked about him. There was no story of like what actually killed him. Was it cancer or did he die from something else? You know, nobody knows where his ashes were buried. There was no funeral. All this stuff, and you go, okay, what happened to him? I don't think he's dead. I wasn't wild about his last album, but I did appreciate the song Lazarus, where he does the video from a bed, hospital bed, where it looks like he's dying and talks about dying and going to heaven. And then he returns to this cabinet backwards. I mean, it's very cryptic and whatever, but very cool. So, should I play another Bowie's tune, or should I play a Kiss tune, or should I play a song in Ojibwe? Should I play the blues? Let me know. Is Bowie really dead? That's right, you heard what I said. Is Bowie really dead? I know you heard what I said. This is how you write a blues tune. You just repeat what I said. No, I don't know. Where is NANABOOZHOO? All right. Here's a song. Okay, to heck with it. I'll just play this. To keep with the theme of Boozhoo NANABOOZHOO. Boozhoo NANABOOZHOO is a podcast about Ojibwe language and Ojibwe culture. NANABOOZHOO actually spends a lot of time talking about Ojibwe history, and musing on his ancestors and what happened. And kind of the premise of the show, or whatever, the reason why there is a show, is that, like a lot of you know, I've been rethinking this a lot, but history records that the reason we don't speak Ojibwe is because of the boarding school era. In my grandparents' era and their parents' era, the late 1800s to maybe 1930-ish. I mean, there are still Native American boarding schools, but, you know, like I have a cousin who claims to have been brutalized in the Indian boarding schools and that they made her cut her hair and she wasn't allowed to speak her language and stuff. But she's like maybe 70 by now, 65 or whatever. You know, she went to school in the 60s. Boarding schools in the 60s are not the reason why we don't speak Ojibwe. But the original English speakers of Native Americans learned English at boarding schools. I don't understand my family's tree because my grandfather spoke English and his father spoke English, also knew Ojibwe. I never heard whether or not his dad went to boarding school or how he learned English. But my grandfather did go to the Flandreau Indian boarding school, and it was like every boarding school, Catholic school, whatever. You know, it could be a very difficult place for the kids, and they were a long ways from their parents, and they also came from a community, and this is what I've been rethinking about the boarding schools. Boarding schools have a lasting intergenerational impact of trauma on Native American families. But the way we've talked about it for most of this time has been, oh, those evil white people oppressing the Indian people. The reality is, Indians oppressed ourselves. It was our own ancestors who sent us there, who left us there, who didn't visit, who, when the kids came back from boarding school having learned English and become Christians and stuff, were alienated and ostracized by their own parents and grandparents who didn't go to boarding school. It was the cruelty of our own ancestors that created such a legacy of dysfunctional families. I don't blame the boarding schools anymore for current Ojibways not knowing our culture, our history, our language and stuff. I blame the Ojibways. I blame our own ancestors who just rolled over and didn't even resist the colonizers. What do you want to call them? But this is a song I wrote about my grandfather running away from boarding school, and it's called Home. And I was born in 1913 in the storm of 1913. But then at boarding school I was nobody's fool. Down at Flandreau I grew madder every day. That's why I had to run away, 'cause this is no way to live. And I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. But on a fateful day, me and my brother Ray, we planned our getaway. If we can make it to them tracks, it won't be coming back. We're gonna hop a train. I thought we got away, but then the cops came and took us back to a leather strap. But I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go. and I remember it still. I saw a whippoorwill out on my windowsill. How could I sit still? So I got right up and I walked right out. The teacher said to me, where do you think you're going? Boy, and I'm going home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Niwiki way. Niwiki way. Niwiki way. Niwiki way. No, I'm depressed. So that was Home, a song I wrote about my grandfather. Did you guys see that there's a new Indian movie coming out? Leonardo DiCaprio, the killing of the Wabigoni Geesis, the killing of the flower moon. It's all about the Osage Indians, which you never hear about Osage Indians. Apparently they live in Oklahoma. The only time I hear about Oklahoma Indians, it's always the Cherokee and the Trail of Tears. The Trail of Tears. They were crying all the way from wherever they came from and left a trail, running water of crying Indians. The Trail of Tears. I had to rethink the Cherokees. Yeah, I always think of Cherokees when it comes to Oklahoma. I had to rethink the Trail of Tears in the last number of years too, when I found out that the Cherokees had slaves. They had African slaves. By the time the Trail of Tears began, what had happened was that the U.S. government moved on to the Cherokee plantations. The Cherokees were known as the European dressing Indians. The Dakota people referred to them as red-headed Indians and stuff. They were mixed-blooded Indians, maybe always. They might have just been an invented tribe early on of not the kind of Indians we think of when we think of like Dances with Wolves, but the Cherokees. U.S. government came in and said, listen, you guys, want to think of yourselves as Indians? Get out of here. We're taking this land. But we're not totally evil. You can take your livestock and your slaves with you. So the Cherokee people rounded up their cows and their horses from their plantations, and the slaves they had bought that history never teaches about the evil Cherokee people and their slaves when they started marching to Oklahoma. Many of their slaves also died, crying and leaving a trail of tears. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I have no sympathy for the Cherokee. Who cares? It's just like I've been rethinking all this crying around about, the white man came and pushed us off our land. Minnesota used to be Dakota territory before the Ojibwe came here and relocated the Dakota to what is now known as North and South Dakota. We were the original colonizers of Minnesota, original oppressors of the Dakota people. So this song is kind of about the Ojibwe moving into Dakota territory, but it's actually what do we call it? Iron Maiden tune. This is Run to the Hills. white man came from across the sea. He brought us pain and misery. He killed our tribes, he killed our creed, he killed our game for his own needs. We fought him hard, we fought him well, out on the plains we gave him hell. Many came, too much for creed. Will we ever be set free? Riding through dust clouds and barren waste, galloping hard on the plains, chasing the redskins back to their holes, fighting them at their own game. Murder for freedom, the stab in the back, women and children are cowards attack. Murder for freedom, the stab in the back, women and children are cowards attack. Run to the hills and run for your lives. Run to the hills, run for your lives. Soldier blue in the barren waste, hunting and killing their game, raping the women and wasting the men. The only good Indians are tame, selling them whiskey and taking their gold, enslaving the young and destroying the old. Selling them whiskey and taking their gold, enslaving the young and destroying the old. Run to the hills and run for your lives. Run to the hills, 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 run for your lives. Iron Maiden. All right, how long are we doing? 38 minutes. Any requests out there? Yeah, I got a request. Why can't you be the Joe Rogan podcast? Or Joe Rogan, I don't know. Remember when YouTube used to have all these great podcasts just from people's homes? Like when Joe Rogan first started? You know, YouTube turned into what network TV used to be. Started out great and then just got unwatchable. Now I just watch reruns of Family Guy on YouTube. There was a time when it seemed like YouTube used to feel sort of like cable access shows. Like everything was Wayne's World. And you could watch some people talk about anything, or some people sing, and it was great. That's why there was YouTube. Now it's just clips of network TV things and propaganda to divide and conquer us, fear porn. Oh, look out! There's war in Russia. The transgenders are coming for your kids. It's all. I can't watch it. But here's a little tune by a band called Kiss. Wait, how's it go? And you show us everything you've got. Keep on dancing and the room gets hot. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. Nah, I don't know. Name that tune. Woohoo, yeah! adore you, and she'll floor you with her wisdom and her vision. And you'll love it and think of it till you lose all intuition. She's like the weather, but it seems so good. You'll never leave her, but you know you should. Get the firehouse. Can you name this Kiss tune? Probably Kiss's best music video, I would say. Kiss fans will remember it was the one Eric Carr is still alive and in the band. And they're in this cool room. They're all in black and white. And just the light from the windows is in like a kind of orangish peach color. It's just this duotone video of them standing in a circle playing the song. And Paul Stanley is wearing a vest with no shirt on underneath and like cowboy boots with leather pants tucked into the cowboy boots. So naturally he looks really cool. I gotta tell you what I'm feeling inside. I could lie to myself, but it's true. There's no denying when I look in your eyes. Girl, I'm out of my head over you. I always screw up this part. I lived so long believing all love is blind, but everything about you is telling me this time it's forever. This time I know it. No, see, that's where I screwed up. This time I know it. There's no doubt in my mind. Doubt in my mind. Forever. Until my life is through. Girl, I'll be loving you forever. I hear the echo of a promise I made. Yeah, I know it's a corny song, but I love it. I don't see anybody crying for Natasha or NANABOOZHOO to come out. So maybe I'll play one more song and call it a show. Do I have any more videos? That's just more me. All right, let me just, for a second, diverge. Remember this song? Wait. Don't you remember that one song that's I don't know how to play? She packed my bags last night pre-flight, pre-flight. How do I not know how to play that? She packed my bags last night pre-flight, flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. There it is. And I'm gonna be sorry, I don't remember how to play that. Anyway, I grew up with nothing but propaganda about men flying to the moon. Here is evidence that we have that we did indeed go to the moon. This is allegedly a real photograph of the Earth taken from the moon, from the Apollo 11 man-moon mission. I don't know if it was either Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong who claimed to have taken this picture. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Earthrise. This has now become a defining thing for me. I'm no longer going to apologize. I have been called insane, crazy, whatever, for challenging the moon landing. I have lost friends and family. I have told people and given evidence to why I no longer believe it to people who claim to love me, and they laugh in my face and still say they believe the lies of NASA. Now, if you truly cannot tell that this is a fake photograph, you are an idiot. You are brainwashed. You're probably a boomer. Because if this picture does not convince you that you were lied to from the people who claim that they went to the moon, claim that this is evidence that they were standing on the real moon, that this is not an obvious Photoshop. If you believe this, if you don't believe that they lied to you about this picture, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm no longer going to entertain fools who, I don't suffer fools who believe in the moon landing anymore. I also will not suffer fools who believe we live in a spinning ball. You can wake up. I did. They have lied to us about everything. Oh, why would they lie about the moon landing? Because they lied about evolution. They lied about the shape of the earth. They lied about Darwinism. Everything is a lie. But if you're brainwashed, I used to believe it all, but I'm not an idiot. So when I got new evidence, I changed my position. Most people have heard the same stuff I have and continue to believe the lie. People would rather close their minds and their eyes and their ears than to face the fact that they believed that they were fooled. They say it's easier to fool somebody than it is to convince that person that they've been fooled. I must be crabby. All right, I'm going to head off. I'm going to Maja to leave. But first, let me play this little NANABOOZHOO tune. Welcome to... Sorry. Welcome to Boozhoo, NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I'm happy to be here with you today to speak Ojibwe and learn about the language and culture. You have been watching Boozhoo, NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Today's Ojibwe phrase of the day. Where is NANABOOZHOO? Andi eya NANABOOZHOO? Oma binin, here I am. Tune in tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning early. And NANABOOZHOO will be back. Otherwise, thank you so much for spending some time with me and just letting me play the guitar here. I appreciate you being here. My name is Michael Lyons, and I will see you again. Giga Wabamin, Minawa. Hoa.